Hello everybody, my name is PartyRearlo and welcome to my Q&A video. Now, if you didn't mean to be here, that's fine. If you did mean to be here, good for you! I'm glad you came. I'm going to be answering questions from my Discord server, which people asked in hopes of knowing more about me. Not many people want to know more about me, let's be honest. But I pushed and I prodded, and eventually people came up with 16 questions, and I'm going to answer them. Not all of them are serious. I'm not a serious person, so I can completely relate with that. Without further ado, let's keep this video short and get on with the show. Alright, my first question comes courtesy of Gamer100Life, who has changed his name so many times. Please, guys, stop changing your names. If you keep changing your names, I won't know who you are. But anyway, here's the question. Why did you start Arsenal? And when did you start it? Well, I started this account in 2021, early 2021, I'm pretty sure. But when did I start Arsenal? I'm pretty sure the first game of Arsenal that I've ever played was back in 2017, 2016, back when Arsenal was just first getting off of its feet. And I was okay at it. It was a fun game. It seemed underdeveloped and it just wasn't extremely fun for me to play. I mean, it was one of those games to pass the time, and even now it still is. But a lot has been added since then, so I started playing a lot more consistently. But yeah, the first game was what, 2016, 2017? As for more of the why of me starting Arsenal, I felt like I could just kind of, you know, get into the habit of playing games more and more and more often. I mean, I think I'm somewhat good at Arsenal, and it's fun to win, so I just kept playing it. It used to be something I would just do in the computer lab after I was finished with my work. Me and my friends would go on Arsenal, and we would start playing Arsenal. And we would compete and all that with our shitty internet and our horribly outdated computers because they refused to buy new ones. But honestly, I'm going to keep playing Arsenal until it dies, so. Sagari-chan, who once again is somebody who changed their names, and now I have no clue who they are, but Sagiri-chan. Their question is, can I train you in Arsenal? I don't even know if you're better than me. I forgot completely who you are, as I said. I'm a pretty decent player. I've been beating people in my server who have been beating me for a long time, only recently, so I think I'm improving. So I'm gonna see where my own aim training and my own practice takes me, and maybe I'll consider it. Who knows? Maybe you're 1,000 times better than me. But I recently got beaten by Tracer or Mark, and it was humiliating. I got a lot further than I did the first time I 1v1'd them. I don't actually have any clips to show you on that, but the game ended 32-18, I believe. Which isn't great, but for me, it's improvement, and I will take any semblance of improvement that I can get my grubby little hands on. Speak of the devil, the next question is by Tracer. Would you mind a blowjob by Gamer?
Bruh.
Okay, first of all, I'm pretty sure Gamer is like 14 years old, so no. Second of all, no. And third of all, no. No. That's your answer. Jesus Christ. The next question comes courtesy of Skills Memes, who I've bullied a lot recently. I apologize, but come on, it's so fun messing with kids. Their question really isn't that much of a question, but they typed in how to Rickroll. Blink and you'll miss it. The Napballs question isn't really much of a question either. Their question is, can you add the revive chatbot? Haha, you're so funny. Tracer asked another question. They asked, can I become a moderator? Again, not really a question that's about me or concerned with me, but I do have to say something about this. None of you guys can become moderators, especially since I just met you. I have a bit of trust issues when it comes to giving power to people, naturally, because I would be giving power to 13-year-olds, and, well, I know how that goes from my own experience of moderators giving me power. I would usually abuse it and then scream about it and then basically just emo teen shit. And whenever I would have moderator, it didn't go well. I did not do well at it. I think I would do better at it today, but like, no. I know what happens when you give kids moderator privileges. It's not happening. Sorry. Only my friends are getting moderator privileges, and that's likely not going to change. Atrox asked, "Can I put my balls in your drawers?"
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Could you take a deep breath, smile, and scream, "Can I put this cereal to your head?" Okay. Can I put this cereal to your head? Is that better? Are you satisfied now? Prick. Dank Pies, my moderator, or one of my moderators, asked, "Do you eat cereal with milk or water?" My breakfasts are usually pretty odd. I don't even often eat cereal. I can't actually remember the last time I've eaten, like, you know, boxed cereal. My last actual breakfast was pancakes, and recently I've been eating pancakes a lot with my grandmother. But before that, like back when I was living in Georgia, I mean, honest to God, I didn't even wake up in time for breakfast. I never really had breakfast. It wasn't really something I like. I don't really like breakfast foods, so I don't often eat breakfast. But back to the actual question, if I were to eat cereal with milk or water, I'd say milk is better. I would eat it with milk. But even then, I probably wouldn't eat it with any actual, like, liquid. I would just eat it straight out of the box. Can you translate "use LOL" into Latin? Give me a moment. I forget that I'm talking to children. So, ML Main asked 2 questions here. He asked, "What course are you taking on in college?" I would be able to answer that more efficiently if the question was, "What course are you planning on taking in college?" I'm not in college right now, and I'm not really planning on going to college anytime soon. Maybe in my mid to late 20s, I don't know. But right now, I don't have any motivation to work. I don't have any motivation to do anything. I just want to sit down and chill. After 12 years of devoting my life to school, I'm done with education and labor. Okay, I'm not doing anything. I'm gonna chill, and thankfully, I have a family member who is allowing that, and I have a family member who fully supports that. I would not encourage that. I would encourage you guys, if you guys can mentally handle it, get a job, go do something with your life, be a productive member of society. I'm just saying that I don't think I'm mentally capable of doing that right now, so I'm not going to. Now, if I were to reroute this question into what course am I planning on taking, I actually don't know. I was thinking about something in the meteorology field initially when I was in middle school, and I was drawing a lot. I was thinking about taking animation, but given the status of animation jobs, I mean, I've been hearing so much about animators overseas getting paid way too little and having way too many hours, and everything just being really tedious surrounding that job. So I just decided animation was out because I didn't want to risk the rest of my life being, or like having a hobby or an interest become a drag. You know, I didn't want it to become something that I couldn't tolerate anymore, just because I was forced to do it for a living. That's one of my fears. I don't want to do anything like hobby-wise as a job. Even YouTube, while I would love to do that for a job, it's a little shaky because I don't want to become some dude who just hates his life because he's doing everything based on popularity. I don't want to be that guy. So I don't know. I don't know what I would be taking if I was in college. I have no clue. The best answer is meteorology because weather interests me. Sorry for that long ass answer, but it was a more serious question, so I decided to go into it. His second question was, can you stream playing Hypixel? I don't know what Hypixel is. I have no clue what that is. I'll look it up later, but maybe? I don't know. Is it free? Aatrox asked another question. They asked, is bisexual being gay or what? Okay, so being bisexual means that if you had to choose between a guy and a girl for sexual interests, you wouldn't mind choosing one or the other. You are sexually interested in both. You enjoy both, the company of both. You would enjoy sexual relations with either. Being gay is you basically are in love with your own gender. you're in love with people of your sex. So if you're a guy, you'll like guys. That's being gay. That's what that means. They have a term for it for girls, and you all know what it is. It's lesbian. So if you're lesbian, you're a girl, you will like other girls. That's just how that goes. So no, bisexual is not gay. That's not what that is. Now, if you want to take one single instance of having sex with a guy, I don't even know why I'm talking about this to minors, but if you want to take a single instance of having sex with a guy, you can call that gay. Good for you. But the person in question might be bisexual because they might go to to one of their friends who are a girl a few days later and have sex with them. Like, I'm really stretching here, and this question makes me all sorts of uncomfortable, but I'm going to answer it to the fullest of my abilities. What am I talking about? I already have. That's your answer. I honestly don't even know how else to explain it. Level What, one of my moderators and one of my good friends currently, they asked, what sort of advice or what's something you'd say to a 13-year-old version of yourself? Shit, maybe I'd start with plan your future right now, because it's going to be a hard one. The 13-year-old me wanted nothing to do with responsibilities. Just like the me from right now. They didn't try new things. They didn't get into anything. They didn't want to dedicate their time to anything outside of video games or just doing what they wanted to do. And so they never developed any real-world experience. They never really got in touch with that many people and became friends with that many people. And my 13-year-old self just did not grow up. I say this to some people. I honestly believed I stopped aging when I hit 14 or 15. I feel like I have not matured whatsoever since then. And unfortunately, it's just because I was too stubborn to put my foot into the pond and to try something new. If I was 13 now, I would definitely push myself to do that because I would have all the time in the world. School makes that more difficult, yes, and now I have a lot more time, and so I probably now would actually probably be the best time. But because of everything that I went through in terms of just not learning new things and not, expanding my horizons, now I'm so unwilling to that it's so hard to motivate myself to do anything else. And that's going to put my future in jeopardy, but I have a lot of time. I'm only 20 years old, and while that is what I told myself when I was 13, it's true. I do have a lot of time. People can start their lives at any moment, and it all depends on when I get bored of what I'm doing and when I actually want to make something of myself. Thankfully, my family has the funds to support that decision, and when I feel like I need to make a living and I need to start putting myself out there, then it's going to be a really hard shove, but I'm going to do it. And honestly, all of that, everything that I just said, that's something I would tell my 13-year-old self, because it's crucial. Life sucks, okay? Life is not supposed to be fun. It's not meant to be happy. It really depends on how you look at it, yes, but 13-year-old me, what you need to do is grab the happy in life and start chugging forward with everything you've got. Mayo asked, what the dog doing? I don't know. I haven't seen him since November. And my last official question from Level What, again, is what's a game you tried hard to get into but couldn't for the life of you? Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy 14. I tried. I did. I wanted to play it with one of my moderators, Axel, and I really wanted to play it with him. I did, but there were some personal reasons as to why I just kind of stopped and didn't want to play anymore. But also, the game wasn't actually all that interesting to me. I just didn't love it, you know? I fooled around just because I was trying to find some sort of gratification from playing it, and it wasn't there. I didn't like it. It didn't appeal to me. I feel like the game is cool in its own sense from an objective standpoint, but me personally, I just didn't really care for it. I really wanted to because I wanted to play with him, but I couldn't. I could not force myself to after a while. Oh man. Also, another good answer for this would be Biomutant. Biomutant was a $60 game, and my grandma paid for it in full, and I feel terrible because I have not touched that game. I've played it for like an hour, and I have not touched it since then. It's just sitting there on Steam. I have the space to download it. I'm pretty sure it's already downloaded, but I have not touched it, and I just don't know why. I don't have the interest to it. And I don't... I want to play it, but I don't want to play it. If you guys have ever known what that's felt like you feel guilty or you feel like, hey, I have a game now. Maybe I should play it. And you're just like, but I don't feel like it. I can't really get up and just do it. That's how I feel about Biomutant. I really want to get into it, but I don't know. Alright, so since I feel like not enough questions were asked, or not enough relevant questions were asked, it was mostly just people in my server fucking around, I asked myself 10 personal questions that I feel would be most relevant to me as a person, and things that you may be interested and may not be interested in. I don't know. But my first question for myself is, what do you hate the most? And my answer to that is, that's a tough one. What do I hate the most? Okay, so I hate two things a shit ton. I hate overconfident, cocky people. I hate that. I despise that. And I've been in that position too, so that makes me feel even worse about myself. I hate people who are, like, especially in Arsenal, who I know if I stretched out a little harder, I could beat them, but they're completely cocky and they feel like they could win against everybody. And, oh my god, I hate those people. I despise them. But also, honestly, I think that's my only answer. I don't like cocky people. I hate cocky people. Oh my god, I hate cocky people. Actually, no. Another answer. I think this takes the cake. What I hate the most is restrictions. I despise restrictions. I don't like restrictions on commerce. I don't like restrictions on speech. I don't like restrictions, rules. I am not a rules person. I despise rules. I especially despise rules that I cannot see the significance to. I don't like, I hate, how we as a society, for instance, are kind of, we're changing society based on the needs of a few rather than of the many. We're changing policies and we're changing how our culture works and how we see people based off of the minority who doesn't like how the system works rather than the majority. That's honestly what I hate. I hate that we coddle people. I don't like that. Because it means 5, 10, 15 years from now, I'm going to have to start watching what I say on the internet. I'm going to have to start watching what I say to other people a lot more than I already do. And it's tiring. It is tiring to self-check. It really is. What sort of devices do you have? Technology. What I have with me right now here in Ohio is a Nintendo Switch Lite, an iPad 6th gen, I believe, a 3DS XL, a laptop, a Xbox One, And I think that's about it. I think that's it. Oh, and an iPhone, obviously. iPhone 7. I'm looking forward to getting a new phone, but it's clearly not going to be now. As for the devices that I used to have a Game Boy Advanced. I used to have a DS. I used to have a DSi. I used to have a PSP. I used to have a PS3, and I used to have a PS4. Oh, also to add to the list of things that I currently have, PS2. Right in here. So, yeah. I have a lot of shit. A lot of stuff. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I have no clue. The future, especially for people like me, is extremely hard to predict, and I'm not sure that I could accurately do so in the position that I'm in currently, which is a leech, basically. I'm a leech, and I hate to admit it, but I'm a leech off of the people that I care about, so I have no motivation to do anything other than what I want to do. I'm afraid of society. I'm afraid of myself. And so I don't know. I really don't know where I see myself 5 years from now. What is your favorite drink, favorite food, and favorite candy? Favorite drink would be cream soda. Love cream soda. That easily became my favorite drink last year, and it still is my favorite drink today. Although I do love strawberry Fanta, and I love vanilla shakes. Love them. Everything sugary, really. My favorite food. This is difficult. This is a difficult one, because I like a lot of food. But I have to say, the food that has tasted the best, the best that I've ever tasted, shit. It was either Olive Garden's spaghetti or fettuccine Alfredo. I don't remember the brand, but specifically, it was a specific brand, because the fettuccine Alfredo that we have in our freezer is different from what I had down in Georgia. I loved what I had down in Georgia. It was great. I loved it. I could not stop eating it. When my mom would go to the store and get some, we would run out basically immediately, because I just could not keep my filthy hands off of them. So, but the food I've eaten the most, I guess, what you could call a favorite food, Hot Pockets. I eat Hot Pockets a lot. I've eaten Hot Pockets since I was like 8. It's my longest standing food. And favorite candy, I would have to choose, well, kind of a sub-story here. I got COVID in like 2020, and since then I haven't been able to taste certain things the same way. Chocolate and peanut butter are two of these things that I used to really, really love. So if we're talking before 2020, Crunch bars and Kit Kat bars, those would be my favorite chocolates, and they count as candy, so they would be my favorite, definitely. As for right now, I would say my favorite candy has to be, I mean, shit, I don't even have a favorite candy, because I haven't eaten candy in a while. It's hard to say. A lot of my favorite candy had chocolate in it, so it's kind of irrelevant now. And I still cannot. Chocolate tastes disgusting, and peanut butter tastes disgusting. There's this taste about it that I just absolutely despise. I can't eat it. I just can't. I won't puke it up, but it won't sit well in my stomach, and it tastes horrible. So that's unfortunate. So as for my favorite candy right now, I don't know. What is your full name? My full name is Dylan Michael Fisher. My first name is Dylan, my middle name is Michael, and my last name is Fisher. I refused the last name of Kaepernick when my mom got married to my stepfather, because I wanted to keep my name, so that's what I did. So yeah, I would be Dylan Michael Fisher. Have you ever dated anybody? No. I wanted to stay far away from dating when I was in middle school, and I saw people dating with each other. Honestly, as late as or as early as late elementary school, I saw people trying to get into the dating scene and saying that they loved each other and then breaking up 2 days from then. I mean, dating to me was just a sick joke. People, just pretending that they love each other. to show off, and I hated it. I didn't like it, and I didn't genuinely like many people that way. I liked maybe one person that way, but she liked somebody else, so it didn't really happen. So I never really dated anybody. That's stayed the same all the way throughout middle school and throughout high school, and I'm still not too looking forward to dating, especially if I go to college. I mean, who the hell would I find there that wouldn't hate my political point of views, for instance, and the way I see things? I mean, they're liberal cesspools, so I probably wouldn't be dating in college either. But no, I've never dated anybody, and I don't think I'm going to be dating anybody in the near future. But you never know. What advice do you have for the younger Generation Z? Because I kind of split Generation Z into two parts. I think 2000 to 2010 would be this Generation Z, and then 2010 to 2020 would be the other Generation Z, the younger generation, people that are 10 years old and below. The advice I have for them is don't buy into social media too fast, too easily. Don't do it. It's gonna ruin your life. It's gonna ruin your life, I swear to God. You're not gonna have fun with it. Don't buy into news media. Don't just don't be afraid to think for yourself, because you guys will be the future. So don't buy into any one party stance. Don't buy into political bullshit. Just have your own thoughts and think, what would I want? What would I want for people, and what makes sense to me? And obviously do your research. I mean, don't try and hear things from one point of view. Try and hear it from every point of view you possibly can, and then make your decision. I know it doesn't seem important, but it is. It absolutely is. It is so difficult to not be biased, and I'm talking from experience. It is so difficult not to be biased. I can't tune into CNN for like more than 10 minutes before I get disgusted, because the bias is absolutely clear with them. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, no, you just gotta keep watching. What are they saying? What are they thinking? What are they doing? You just think for yourself. Think for yourself. Don't live to please other people. Live to make you happy. And if you feel that making yourself happy lies within the opinions of other people, then you're doing it wrong. What are your hobbies? Well, right now my current hobbies are doing roleplay, chat roleplay, just kind of like typing up stories, interactive stories, which would be roleplay. I enjoy playing Arsenal. I enjoy doing YouTube videos. I just enjoy recording stuff. I enjoy taking pictures. I enjoy keeping track of the weather. I also enjoy watching anime with my grandmother, a lot. We're actually rewatching Naruto, and it's pretty fun so far. So yeah, I watch quite a bit of anime. Usually I only watch what's popular, but sometimes I branch out a little bit. That's about it. I really don't do that much, honestly. And yet the things that I do, they take up a lot of time, so. How many times have you moved? Okay, let's do this. I was born in Ohio, Northern Ohio, which is where I am right now, and I lived there for 2 years. Nearly 2 years, I think. And then I moved to Florida. I believe we moved away from Florida when I was 8 years old. I attended kindergarten, first and second grade when I was in Florida. So I'm pretty sure we moved when I was about 8. In Baltimore, I'm pretty sure I did 3rd grade. We were not in Baltimore for very long. I think I finished 2nd grade in Baltimore, and then I did all of 3rd grade in Baltimore. And then we were about to do 4th grade, but not quite. So like what, in 2010, I think we moved. So when I was like, what, 10 years old, 9 years old, we moved to Connecticut. And when I say Baltimore, from 2008 to 2010, Maryland, for those who don't know U.S. states, the U.S. state of Maryland. So then we moved to Connecticut, and we stayed there until about 2013, 2014. I spent 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th grade in Connecticut. and then I think I did, actually no, I think I did 6th grade, and then I started 7th grade in Connecticut, but I finished 7th grade in Texas. We moved to Texas, and I believe in 2013, 14. And then I did the end of 7th grade, and then I did 8th grade, 9th grade, and I think I did 10th grade there too. It's hard to say. I'm pretty sure I did 9th grade in Texas. I don't remember if I finished 10th grade in Texas. I'm sure that I did, but I remember going into 10th grade when I was in Georgia. We then moved to Georgia. To be honest, I don't know. Yeah, I finished high school in Georgia, and only recently I moved back here to Ohio with my grandmother. In between that, in between Florida and Maryland, I believe I was in Alabama for about half a year with my mom's husband, my stepfather. And so what that makes, so I was born, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I've moved 7 times throughout my 20-year-old life. So that's a lot. I moved 7 times and I hated it. I had to meet new people. I had to just kind of start over again and again. I hated it. And the reason we did so was mostly because of my stepfather's ever-changing job and his ever-changing positions, and I just despised it. I never really got a foundation. And a lot of the people that I did know that I was friends with, especially in Connecticut, I had a few select friends that I am no longer hear anything from because I don't know their accounts. I don't know anything. I had a loose contact info with them when I was in Connecticut, but I don't have that any longer. So it kind of sucks. They're probably completely different people, and that's just the way it goes. I mean, life changes, right? You just kind of have to adapt to it, and that's really what moving's all about. So I moved 7 times. That's the answer to that. The last question for myself is a pretty personal one. What do you fear the most? I fear never making something in my life, never being completely satisfied with myself. I fear staying in the same position, stuck by laziness and stuck by my own insecurities about myself and my own nervousness. I'm afraid of staying in the same position for the rest of my life. I'm afraid of never learning to drive. I'm afraid of never learning to provide for myself. As much as I want to do these things, I also don't. It's a little strange. My own mother, I mean, I've talked to this about her many times, and she doesn't really seem to get it. So, and eventually I got fed up with her and everything else, and when I saw the chance to move here to Ohio again, I took that shit because I got sick of her, I got sick of my stepfather, but nothing's really changed. I mean, I enjoy myself more down here, but the fear remains the same. I am still terrified. So, yeah. Well, that is the end of my Q&A session. Both the questions that people on Discord ask me and the questions that I commonly ask myself, or people probably are curious about. And if you guys want to do another one of these sometime, just drop more questions in my Q&A section. I am all ears. Don't worry about it. But I enjoyed making this video, and it's going to be a bitch to edit like everything else because I go above and beyond when I shouldn't. Yeah, so see you guys later. Peace.